Warning, the following video that you are about to see contains audio of someone who does not know how to pronounce simple words. They also are too lazy to look up how to pronounce them. We apologize in advance. One of the most underrated and memorable anime of 2017 was Land of the Lustrous. Between its gorgeous CG animation, complex and interesting characters, and a fascinating, mysterious world, this anime is a sight to behold. And one of the cool things is that each character is based on the gem that they're named after. Through their appearance and actions, their influence is clearly shown in each episode.
So, let's go together to examine each character and see how they are connected to the gems that they are named after. I won't be able to look at each character like I did with my Bungou Stray Dogs video, cause comparing a three-dimensional character and a rock can be hard, but not impossible though. Spoilers ahead for this one as well. So anyway, this is Land of the Lustrous characters and their gem counterparts. The first to talk about is our main character, Phos.
Declared as too weak for battle, Phos is tasked with creating an encyclopedia logging new information. As Phos keeps experiencing hardships in battle, their limbs, along with their memories, are gradually lost and replaced with other elements. They have a hardness of 3.5.
The gem phosophyllite is a rare mineral composed of hydrated zinc phosite. Its name derives from its chemical composition and the Greek word for leaf. It is highly prized by collectors for its rarity and for its delicate bluish-green color.
Phosophyllite is rarely cut because it is fragile and brittle, and large crystals are too valuable to be broken up. In the anime, whenever Phos encounters the Lurariums in the beginning, they always get scattered by a single attack. They don't know how to defend themselves, and everyone thinks that they are weak. However, through hardships and experience, they become the most valuable of the gems, with the most variation of powers and abilities. At some point, Force had an arm made of gold-platinum alloy attached to their body to replace their lost arms. Eventually, the alloy spread and wrapped around their body to strengthen it. This may be a reference to Ginsuki, the Japanese technique of repairing broken pottery, with lacquer that has been mixed with gold, silver, or platinum. This technique is used to embrace the flaws of a broken object rather than disguising it.
Next up is Cinnabar.
An aloof jewel person who is even weaker than Phos with a hardness of 2, but carries a powerful poison in their body. The poison taints the environment and erases memories stored inside affected jewel shards.
The gem Cinnabar refers to the common bright scarlet to brick red form of mercury sulfate that is the most common source for refining elementary mercury and is the historic source for the brilliant red or scarlet pigment termed vermilion and associated red mercury pigments. Man, that's a lot of words I just said that I don't understand.
The poison of the character in anime is reference to the toxicity of the gem through mercury poisoning. Because of its mercury content, Cinnabar can be toxic to human beings. In the anime, this explains Cinnabar's loneliness, as they don't want to be close to the other gems in fear of hurting one of them by accident. Real-life mercury poisoning can cause memory problems on top of other things. Another fear that Cinnabar has in harming their family.
Next up is Dia.
A kind-hearted jewel person who is fragile against enemy attacks. They have the maximum hardness of 10.
The gem diamond is a solid form of carbon with a diamond cubic crystal structure. It is renowned for its superlative physical qualities, much of which originate from the strong covalent bonding between its atoms. In particular, it has the highest hardness and thermal conductivity of any bulk material.
Those properties determine the major industrial applications of diamond in cutting and polishing tools and the scientific applications in diamond knives and diamond anvil shells. In the anime, Dia is one of the strongest gems with the highest level of hardness. Their speed is quick and smooth, and their attacks are direct and precise. Diamonds have been used for decoration throughout history. When talking about Dia's fragileness despite their high hardness level, diamonds have a cleavage plane and is therefore more fragile in some orientations than others. In modern times, it is often associated as a gem used in weddings or marriage. This can be seen reflected in the anime with Dia's own sweet and friendly personality as opposed to their partner Bort.
Speaking of which, next up is Bort.
An intimidating diamond-class jewel person who is powerful in combat and is the most durable of the gems. They have a hardness of 10.
The gem Bort is a term used in the diamond industry to refer to shards of non-gem grade quality diamonds. In manufacturing and heavy industries, Bort is used to describe dark, imperfectly formed or crystallite diamonds of various levels of opacity.
This explains the relationship between Dyer and Bort. They are of the same class and share similar strength and durability. However, as the gem Bort is more dark and imperfectly formed as opposed to the diamonds, Bort in the anime is more hostile towards others and quick to anger. The only one being able to quell their anger is Daya.
Next up is Morganite.
A haughty jewel person who is very confident in their fighting capabilities. They have a hardness of 7.5.
The term Morganite, also known as pink beryl, is a rare light pink to rose-colored gem quality variety of beryl. It can be routinely heat treated to remove patches of yellow and is occasionally treated by irradiation to improve its color. Next up is their partner Gaussonite.
A sweet and responsible jewel person with a hardness of 7.5.
The gem Gaussonite is a colorless beryl. Since all these color varieties are caused by impurities and pure beryl is colorless, it can be tempting to assume that Gaussonite is the purest variety of beryl.
Hence Gaussonite's more subdued and calm personality when compared to the personality of their haughty and energetic partner Morganite. Both Morganite and Gaussonite are variations of beryl, hence why they are partnered.
Next up is Rutile.
The medic jewel person in charge of fixing the other jewels when they are broken, although they have a habit of wanting to dissect what catches their attention. They have a hardness of 3.5.
Rutile has one of the highest refractive indices at visible wavelengths of any known crystal and also exhibits a particularly large bifurcance and high dispersion. The multicolors in Ruto's color explains the character's mix of brown and yellow hair. Next up is Jade.
A jewel person who works as a secretary for a Master Gongo. They have a hardness of 3.5.
The gem jade is an ornamental mineral, mostly known for its green varieties, which is featured primarily in ancient Asian art. Jade is usually used as an ornament, and the character's hair is tied like a ribbon, which is usually used to decorate the stone. Next up is the twin characters Amethyst.
They are twin jewels that are always together and act in secrecy when talking and fighting. They both have a hardness of 7.
The gem Amethyst is a violet variety of quartz often used in jewelry. In the original Japanese version, Amethyst's nicknames are written as 84 and 33 as English words in katakana.
Twinning is when separate gemstones grow conjoined together. This can happen in different patterns called law. The Japan law is when twin gems are connected at an angle of 84-33. This is in reference to Amethyst being the only character in the anime to be a pair of twins.
The nicknames are a reference to Japan law twinning, a type of gemstone twinning. Next up are partners Benoite and Neptunite.
Benoite is a jewel person who is incapable of saying no to people who ask for their help. They have a hardness of 6.5. Neptunite is a young jewel person with a sharp tongue. They have a hardness of 5.5. Benoite and Neptunite are both partners, and it is said that one of the requirements for being teammates is being of the same gem. This may be a reference to the fact that both Benoite and Neptunite are silicate minerals.
Next up is Zychron.
The second youngest jewel person after Phos. They have a hardness of 7.5. They are the former partner of the Yellow Diamond who they admire a lot, often putting themselves in harm's way in order to protect them.
The gem Zychron is colorless and is a popular substitute for diamond. Later on in the anime, Zychron teams up with Bort on patrol duty, replacing Daya. Next up is Obsidian.
A jewel person in charge of manufacturing the tools, weapons, and daily items of the other jewels. They have a hardness of 5.
Obsidian is a naturally occurring volcanic glass formed as an extrusive igneous rock. The gem is hard and brittle and therefore fractures with very sharp edges.
In the past, it was used to manufacture cutting and piercing tools, and it has been experimented as surgical scalpel blades. This is reflected in the anime by the fact that Obsidian is a bladesmith.
Next up is Alexandrite.
A jewel person with an obsession with understanding the Lurariums, although they have a tendency to turn berserk when they see one. They have a hardness of 8.5.
The gem Alexandrite in real life changes colors depending on lighting conditions. This is referenced in the anime by Alexandrite's 2 personalities and the accompanying color change to their hair. Next up is Antarctite.
A jewel person who only appears during the winter when the other jewels undergo hibernation. They have become much sturdier thanks to the cold. They have a hardness of 3.
The gem Antarctite was first discovered to be forming in Antarctica, which is referenced in the anime by the fact that Antarctica only appears during the winter when the other gems are asleep. Next up is Watermelon Tourmaline.
They are an energetic jewel person. They have a hardness of 7 to 7.5.
The gem watermelon tourmaline is a popular but rare kind of tourmaline that exhibits pink, white, and green colors all within one crystal, making you think of a watermelon.
In the anime, this is referenced by Watermelon's hair and how it exhibits the color of a watermelon. Also, I just fucking love the character design. That's all.
And last up is... oh fuck no, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that one. Let's call him Pad. Pad sounds good.
A jewel person nearly as old and strong as the diamonds, who was born incomplete, hence spending most of their time sleeping. They have a hardness of 9.
The gem of Pad are not generally well known to the general public, but gemstone collectors treasure them.
In the anime, Pads is deeply adored by the rest of the gems, especially Rutile. Rutile desperately tries to find ways to fix Pads so they can become complete and not have to sleep all the time. This is in reference to Pads being exceptionally rare and well sought out after by gem collectors. Ruby and Sapphire were used to fill Pads' chest cavities as they are made of the same base mineral. In real life, Pads is a special type of sapphire.
And that's it! Almost all of the major and minor characters landed illustrious in the real-life gemstones that inspired their creation. It was hard for some of these characters to find these connections, but some managed to come through. And I actually managed to learn a few things about gemstones. The more you know, I suppose. In the end, Landed Illustrious is an underrated anime, and I hope this video makes people more aware of it so they can see how much hard work and creativity went into making this gorgeous anime.